Good afternoon and welcome to Cengage. We are thrilled to be here today and excited to be hosting the Governor, Secretary Acosta, the leadership team from Apprentice. My name is Jim Chilton. I'm the CIO here at Cengage, and I'd like to take a minute and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. First of all, we're a global education and technology company that's focused on delivering learning digital solutions in 5 distinct markets: higher education, workforce skills, secondary education, research, and English language teaching. One of the things that makes us special is that we've spent the last 100 years with our learning products being used by millions of people throughout the world. That's something we're particularly proud of. And if you look and feel the culture of the company, one of the things that you would hear and see is that we are a learning-first company. You'll hear that all the time. We'll often also say that we are a company of learners built for learners. And we actually believe that. But one of the things that we're facing right now is that we are leading a transformation in our industry. And that transformation is dependent on technology. That's at the core of the transformation. And the enablers are technologists. And it's probably no surprise to you that finding technologists, recruiting them, retaining them, developing them is really, really hard and really challenging, not just here in Boston, in the entire country, and arguably the world. So about 4 years ago, we started a partnership with a company called Apprentice. And in that time, we've added 14 apprentices to the Cengage family. Many of those apprentices are on my cybersecurity team. Matter of fact, 2 of them are here today, Valerie and Tom. And when you look at the contribution that they've made for us, it is just as valuable as all the other technologists that we have in the company. Apprentice has done something special. They've opened up opportunity in the Boston and Massachusetts area, and they've strengthened the talent ecosystem for which we all depend upon. And that matches really, really well with the things that we're doing here at Cengage around education for employment. And you bring those 2 things together, and we are having amazing results. We're quite proud of what we're doing. We need to encourage more of you to do that. So, what is clear to us is that the apprenticeships is a critical to future employment and workforce engagement going forward. Together, we are changing people's lives for the better, and you don't get to do that every day. So if you think about the business challenge that we're faced with in transformation and the things that we're trying to do with the people that can help us, we're really, really excited about that. So, at this time, it's my privilege to introduce Governor Baker to talk about why we're all here today.
Thanks, Jim. So good afternoon, and I want to thank Jim and the team here at Cengage for hosting us today, and I especially want to thank you for your participation in LWD's apprenticeship program. One of the things we talk a lot about in workforce development are programs that work, and this program in particular has shown enormous promise over the course of the several years that it's been in operation, and in some respects the 2 biggest drawbacks it had have been availability of resources and availability of participants. One of the things that happens when a program like this one starts to succeed, thank you for being here, is you end up with a different problem on the other end, which is availability of companies that have an opportunity to participate. And having Jim and the folks at Cengage engaged in this and able to start talking to others about why it would be important for them to participate is a critically important piece of this puzzle. The more employers we can get to engage in this, the more opportunities we're going to create for people to take advantage of this program and to be able to use this model to further advance their own careers here in the Commonwealth. As Jim mentioned, there are 14 folks who've been through this program since 2019. The vast majority of them are women and people of color. The initial cohort has completed their training, and additional apprentices are currently being trained now. They also train apprentices in competitive fields like software analysis and IT support to go along with the work that these folks are doing in cybersecurity. The average salary for the folks that are participating in this program before they started the apprenticeship program was around $30,000 for those who completed the program and are converted to full-time employees at Cengage. The average salary is almost $65,000, which is obviously a very significant increase with plenty of upside opportunity going forward. The model works. It provides workers with very valuable skills and experience in a compressed time frame, which enables them to move up the economic ladder, and it helps employers grow and train and retain homegrown talent, especially at a point in time when many employers are looking for talent to deal with open jobs as the economy continues to reboot in a post-pandemic environment. And that's why apprenticeships are one of several job training tools that our administration is focusing on as we seek to strengthen our workforce throughout this economic recovery. And it's why we filed legislation to invest about $240 million to expand apprenticeships, English language learner programs, rapid reemployment opportunities, and a whole series of other job training opportunities for people here in Massachusetts. And it's why we filed it when we filed it, which at this point was over 2 months ago. We propose to use these funds as part of a larger initiative to turbocharge our existing job training programs to basically make sure that we did everything we possibly could here in the Commonwealth to create opportunities for folks as we continue to see the economy recover. But in addition to that, as we come to the end of some of the emergency unemployment programs that were operated jointly between the state and the feds, but financed primarily by the federal government. Sometime this fall, about 300,000 people will lose those enhanced unemployment benefits when they end the week of September 4th. We think it's critically important that we do all we can here in Massachusetts to make sure people have opportunities to find their way back into the job market. This is one of many. And many people have. In June, our unemployment rate fell below 5% for the first time in a very long time. And as we approach that September deadline, we're working with the employer community to try to connect as many folks who are looking for work with folks who have open job opportunities. Secretary Acosta and her team are planning a statewide virtual job fair from August 16th through August 20th, where workers will be able to virtually connect with employers from across the Commonwealth. We're contacting current unemployment claimants to encourage them to attend the job fair and to connect with other career service opportunities, and also to work with the employer community to do all we can to spread the word on the available opportunity associated with this job fair. Secretary will talk more about this in a minute, and you can learn more about the job fair at mass.gov/job fair. Events that connect workers with open job opportunities is one piece of the puzzle, but we need to take a comprehensive approach so that we can strengthen our workforce for the future. We also need to get workers the skills that will help them connect with the good-paying jobs that are available here in Massachusetts, and especially those in high-demand fields. And that, again, is a big part of why we put a $240 million proposal in front of the legislature and hope and anticipate that at some point we'll have an opportunity to put those dollars to work on behalf of the people who are looking for work here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The federal government obviously sees value in these programs and Massachusetts' approach to expanding them. Earlier this year, we applied for and received a $4 million grant from the feds to expand our apprenticeship programs based on what they'd seen with the work we'd done so far. It has a particular focus on creating training and employment opportunities for communities hardest hit by the pandemic. That's exactly where we think we should be sponsoring a lot of our efforts and our programming, and especially working in conjunction with people of color, folks with disabilities, and also working moms. All communities that in many respects had the toughest time during the course of the pandemic. It's also targeted towards some of those high-demand fields we know we have here in Massachusetts: healthcare, clean energy, IT, and advanced manufacturing. The grant will enable us to connect with about 500 individuals and to connect them with employment through the apprenticeship program over the course of the next several years. The federal grant will give us the ability to hit the ground running, but obviously we believe there's much more that we need to do. We released a Future of Work report about a month ago, which outlined some significant long-term job training needs that we here in the Commonwealth and the people of Massachusetts are going to face. The report concluded that somewhere between 300 and 400,000 people may need to transition to different occupations or occupational categories over the next decade, primarily as a result of the acceleration in the way people work, how they work, and what jobs are available that was brought on by the pandemic. The report makes clear that Massachusetts is poised to see growth in our healthcare space, our life sciences, and in our technology sectors. And they're exciting fields that have lots of good paying jobs and opportunities, but it's going to be critical that we do all we can to make sure that people can access those skills and those fields as they enter back into the workforce. And that's why the job training funds generally and the ARPA proposal in particular is so important. We believe this is both a short-term need, but ultimately will be a long-term need as well. And we also believe that it's important to work on what we've said before, which is if you have programs at work, try to do more of them. And clearly, this apprenticeship model has proven on the limited basis to which it's been implemented so far to be very successful. And we really do hope we have an opportunity to turbocharge it and dramatically expand its footprint here in Massachusetts as we work to help people find their way back to work, and especially into jobs and opportunities that they can call a career. And with that, I will turn over to Secretary Acosta to talk a little bit more about the details around all of this.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. On this gorgeous, very warm day. Thank you, Governor. And thank you, Jim, for having us here today. I remember standing right there in 2019 when we launched Apprentice here in Boston, and Cengage was one of five of our initial companies that just jumped right in to take advantage of this incredible opportunity. And I could not be happier with the way the program is going. I need about 10,000 more gyms in the Commonwealth to make sure that we are taking up the talent that's in our waiting list right now for Apprentice. We have an incredible pipeline of people that are waiting to be trained and waiting to work in your companies. And I can't tell you how many times I hear from employers that they are looking for people, they can't find people. We're offering you an opportunity here, especially in the IT space. If you are looking for anyone in the IT space, please contact my office, and I'd be happy to connect you to Apprentice, or contact Apprentice directly, because we have talent just waiting for you. I want to recognize Dan Weigel and Ethan that are here from Apprentice, that have been partners with us from the very, very beginning. And again, very happy that you have traveled from Washington to be now in Boston as another home for this incredible program. You know, as the governor mentioned, we are preparing right now for 3,000 unemployed workers to lose their federal unemployment insurance the week ending September 4th. This is an unprecedented reality stemming from pandemic-related challenges that lasted for over a year. My office is fully engaged in this reality, and we have amped up our efforts to help people get back to work. It's important to know that there are about 200,000 jobs available across the state, and we are committed to connecting the unemployed and underemployed to businesses and organizations that have good quality jobs. We created a new reemployment center that opened on August 2nd in Boston, offering appointments to help answer any unemployment benefits questions and to connect job seekers to the many services available. We have been actively engaging with both unemployed workers and our employers through emails, webinars, social media, and our website. And as the governor mentioned, we are about to launch the biggest job fair in the state's history the week of Monday,